FPL community, it's Adam Hopcroft. Just wanted to get another video out pre the game week 11 deadline. So going to talk through a few things. I'm going to talk through how the landscape potentially changed in FPL recently and the impact that could have on our strategy and formations that we're playing. And I'll also talk through my plans for this game week and plans going a little bit further ahead as well. So, how has the landscape changed? So you'll probably all remember the start of the season, we saw, the forwards really take over. So the likes of Pukki, Aguero, Abraham, Wilson, Aubameyang had very, very strong starts to the season. There weren't many clean sheets. And actually attacking midfielders, didn't do as well, particularly around sort of the mid-price level. Now, that's actually changed quite a bit over the last 4 game weeks. So if you go into the Fantasy Premier League website and if you order the players by form, and if we look at players that have maybe scored over 5 points per game over the last 4 game weeks, we have 13 midfielders, 9 defenders and just 7 forwards. And interestingly, of the 7 forwards, Vardy is the highest priced. So we can see that the premium forwards haven't been doing it recently. And of the midfielders, there's only Mane and Sterling that are priced over 8 million. So you've got, I think, another 11 midfielders in there that, have got some decent form as well. So for me, and what I've actually done is I've done my own watch list as well, a bit like FPL General, where I watch players every week. I think about, look at the fixtures coming up, etc., and make decisions of the players that I want. And currently, my watch list consists of just 3 forwards, 9 midfielders, and 9 defenders. So straight away, I'm set up with a 3-4-3. I've got Wilson, Abraham, and Pukki currently up front, and I'm not too excited by that. I think, I'm going to look over the coming weeks to go to a 3-5-2, 4-4-2. So how am I going to do that? I think straight away there's one player that's on our radars. He's currently priced at 4.6 million, and that's Aaron Connolly at Brighton. So he last game week got 2 fantasy assists, so he was fouled for both the penalty and free kick. He also got 2 goals against Tottenham not so long ago as well. So he looked quite impressive. The concern that I would have with him is he going to keep his place in the starting lineup, particularly with Trossard back? We've seen Potter likes to change formations. But I think he's worth a risk because after this game week, Brighton's fixtures get really tough. So I think they've got Man United, Leicester, Arsenal and Liverpool are the next 4 after. So unlikely to play him in those matches anyway. And that hence why, Maupay is probably not on my radar. But hopefully, he'll get a start against Norwich, or worst case, even if he gets 30 minutes off the bench, Norwich are terrible. He'll be able to, potentially get something in that time. So I think he's worth the risk. But in all honesty, it's part of a bigger strategy because with my team, I want to move the money back into both midfield and defence over the coming weeks, because that's really where I see, players excelling. So that's my plan. So my moves for this week are actually going to be Wilson and Pukki out to Connolly and Vardy. I think over the next 7 game weeks, I think Vardy is a really key player because not really based on ownership, but more of a case that I can see quite a lot of games where I'd like to captain him. An interesting stat is in the 20 matches he's played under Brendan Rodgers, he has 6 double-digit returns, so 30% of matches, which is really, really high. I think he's got 18 goals in the 20 matches. Now, there are some caveats. Some of those matches have been against 10 men, but for me, if you look how consistent he's been over the last 3 or 4 seasons, he's at a nice price point. He's in a team that are really challenging for that top 4. And they were absolutely ruthless against Southampton. So I'm happy with that. I think moving further ahead, I'm going to be looking to potentially sell one of my Man City attackers. So next game week, Manchester City play Liverpool at Anfield. And I think looking at Man City's fixtures after that, so they've got Liverpool, Chelsea, they then go away to Burnley and Newcastle. They're not great fixtures. And I think they then play Man United and Arsenal. So when I look at those fixtures, there isn't a single fixture I think I would want to captain a Man City player. So I think I'm going to be looking to either downgrade, get rid of Sterling or De Bruyne. Sterling would allow me to free up more funds. I think it was a point raised on Twitter by FPL Partridge, and I completely agree with it, because by downgrading one of those players, it enables me to bring in the likes of Son, Martial, Tielemans, potentially upgrade my defence to get the likes of Robertson, Pereira, etc. So if I'm not going to captain a £12 million player, I think it's well worth spreading the funds around. And actually, I'll be happy captaining the likes of Mane, Vardy, etc. Potentially even one of the Chelsea attackers as well. So that's my plans and strategy for the coming game weeks. In terms of captaincy, I'm captaining Sterling this game week. Bit of a no-brainer. Incredible form. He was brilliant against my team last weekend. Had a breather midweek. So I'll be captaining Sterling. I think this game last season, not that it was a different Southampton side, but they were still pretty poor. He got 2 goals and 2 assists. So no-brainer to captain Sterling. I think if you've got Aguero, I think Aguero owners could have a really good week. I think he will start. I expect him to not only start but to do very well against Southampton. So if I had Aguero, I'd be very, very tempted to captain. I think in terms of captaincy, it's very, very hard to look outside Manchester City this week. So that's it. Hope you all have a good game week, and I'll be back next week to do another video. Thanks.